How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing pretty good. It's been kind of cool here. Yesterday it snowed. Today it's just damp. It's not really doing anything. It's just, you know, that after dampness. So anyway, we're back to answer more questions, or not answer questions, but to go over what drives me crazy. Now, if you haven't posted in my comments on the last video what drives you crazy, I don't have it on here. I would love for you to add to my list. I thought of some over the weekend. I went out with my niece and my sister-in-law, and we were going through, and there was more. So, I mean, we're not going to keep this going forever, obviously. But I am going to go through what I have, and then I'll end. And on the last video, which there'll probably be one more, maybe two, because I'm trying to keep these at 30 minutes. I don't want anybody to get, get bored. But there may be one, maybe two more to get through all of it. And then on that last one, I'll tell you what our next series is going to be about, if you want to join in with that one. Okay, we left off on 12. People eating or talking with food in their mouth. That was the last one from last week. If you want to hear all about that, watch the first video, which if I can remember, I'll link it below. If not, it's not that far back. Also, before I get started, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am so glad you're here. And I hope you enjoy this video. It's just a fun thing that I'm doing. My channel is normally about cross stitch and diamond painting. Every now and then I might throw in a small haul, or I might throw in something like this, something fun. I mean, yes, it's fun diamond painting, and yes, it's fun cross stitching. But sometimes you just need a little tweaking, a little break. Let me adjust my camera a little. I feel like it's off a little. Okay. So let's get started. Like I said, welcome to my channel if you're new. And welcome all you that have been with me. I'm so glad that you keep coming back. Some of you watch my videos, but I don't really know you're there because you don't comment, but I know you're there when I do the, what do you call it? The algorithm? Whatever you call it. Anyway, yeah, so let's get started. Okay, number 13. I asked my son what drives him crazy, and he said me. Yeah, I have a tendency to do that. He actually said he couldn't think of anything, but he would let me know when he comes up with something. So we'll give him that. And okay, number 14. When you are talking and you forget what you were saying. How many of you guys have been talking to somebody, and right in the middle of it, your mind goes blank? Blank. All of a sudden, it's gone. And you're like, what was I talking about? And hopefully they're listening. How many times have you been talking to somebody and you forget what you're talking about, and you say, what was I talking about? And they're like, I don't know. Obviously, they weren't listening, so it wasn't important, right? I have an echo in my ear, so forgive me if my voice sounds funny or I'm off-itty. or if I'm too loud. Okay, that drives me crazy. All right, next, number 15. When my hands get all trembly and you're paper crafting, this is by Marcia. This is hers. It drives her crazy. And I can get that because when you're paper crafting and your hands are trembling, it makes it hard to get things lined up perfectly the way you want it to, because we all want our projects to look good. And when you have shaky hands, it's hard to line something up. It's hard for me because I'm left-handed. It seems like everything wants to slant, you know. So I could understand that. And number 16 kind of goes along with that. When you're crocheting and you keep losing count of your stitches, it's if you're doing a pattern that has a very how do I want to say it? A very, I don't know, a pattern that is, you got to keep count because you want it to turn out perfect, or at least you want it to turn out as good as possible. And you keep losing count of the stitches and you have to keep going back and counting. I don't know how many times I have just started something and had to go back and take it out and do it again because I lost count. And then you go along and it's something's not right because you're not coming out on the end the way you're supposed to. Now that drives you crazy. Because who wants to continuously take their work out to redo it? Not me. I think that's why diamond painting is so easy for me. Every once in a while, and this will drive you crazy too, and it's not on the list, but it's with crafting. You get started on your on your diamond painting, and what do? You grab the wrong color. Excuse me, y'all. How many does that? I'm sorry, if you're new to my channel, if I don't drink something while I talk, my throat goes dry, and then I can't talk and I cough. So, I cough anyway, but it gets worse. But diamond painting is so simple, so easy, that it doesn't even take thinking about it unless you're doing a heaven and earth. If you are doing a heaven and earth pattern, you have to be more attentive. You have to pay attention. You have to count sometimes, because what it is a cross-stitch conversion. And what that is they take a cross-stitch pattern and they convert it to a diamond painting. And your canvas comes blank with just the glue on it. And it's up to you to count and do your diamonds. Most people use a chart and they mark off as they go. A lot of people, well, not most people, but some people use a chart. A lot of people use their Android tablets, and they use the pattern keeper, which is the easiest way to do it. So right now I'm working on a heaven and earth, and I'm hoping to complete it before the end of next month. I would like to do it before this month, but I know it's not going to happen. So I'll say next month. So those things drive you crazy. When you're crafting, your hands are shaky, or you can't keep count. Excuse me. 17. News reports of crimes, and they refer to the criminal as a gentleman who, if he committed a crime, he's no gentleman. Why do they call him a gentleman? He's a man. He's a criminal. He's a guy. He's a person. He's no gentleman. A gentleman is somebody who opens your car door to let you in the car, who opens the door of a restaurant or your home, who pulls your chair out for you to sit down. Things like that. That is a gentleman, not a criminal. That somebody that does a crime is no gentleman. That is ridiculous. These here were sent to me by Linda Underwood. Linda Fine? Wait a minute. Sorry, might have been Linda Fine. Yes, I'm sorry, Linda Fine. Another one. You live in a neighborhood where your houses are close together. It's a well-kept neighborhood. You put signs on your door, no soliciting, and you still get people knocking on the door. They can't read the signs. And some of these signs, you guys, are big writing, no soliciting. But they still come up and knock on your door. They got to come across your lawn and come to your door, even though the sign is big enough to read from the sidewalk. My son and his wife has that problem now that they live in a community where they had their home built. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, that's number 18. And the next one, people who don't teach their children proper manners. That is a good one. How many times do you have a child that doesn't think anything about coming up to you and just being rude, cutting in front of you, taking something out of your hand, spitting on you, kicking you, not saying, may I have, please, and thank you. What happened to that? Now it's give me that. Or they'll throw a fit if they don't get it. What happened to the good old-fashioned spanking? Not a beating. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about just a good old-fashioned spanking. What happened to that? I spanked my kids. They turned out okay. They didn't suffer from it. My mother whooped me with a belt, cherry strap. I turned out fine. Her hand, whatever was available when I did something wrong. But I knew why I was getting a spanking. You explained to that child, this is why I punished you. Don't do it again. You won't get a spanking. We don't have any of that anymore. Kids that go to school and will cuss their teachers out. What happened to a good old fist fight? Somebody's picking on you. What happened to the fist fights? you know, now it's worse. Kids are bringing knives to school, guns to school, to settle a simple argument. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. It drives me crazy that they have took all of the punishments, simple punishment, from home. You know what part of it is? I'll tell you. Part of it is because the mothers are having to work outside the home to help pay the bills. They're not able to be home like they were back in the older days when women stayed home and took care of the children and the men went out and worked and brought home the money. Doesn't work that anymore. Now you got to have a cell phone. You got to have cable TV. You got to have a fancy home. You got to have a fancy car. You got to have name brand clothes, name brand shoes. What's the matter with people? I don't get it. This drives me crazy because I don't understand it. I still don't buy name brand, and I'm totally happy with it. I do have a cell phone. It's the only phone we have. We don't have a phone in our home. We don't have cable TV. We do have internet, so we can, you know, be on our computers. That's part of just needing to be on. We pay our bills and all kinds of stuff. We do a lot of the reading books and all of that. But we don't have cable TV, and we don't have a house phone, and we don't buy name brand clothes. Our kids didn't get name brand clothes either. They survived just fine. They might not have liked it, and they got them when they got old enough to get a job or they got married. You know. Okay. That was number 19. Sorry, I can get off on the subject here. Just a little bit. Okay. Tailgate drivers. Really. You're going down the road. Road's open. Nothing around you. But you got this person riding your bumper. Why? Why? Why's he got to be on your butt? Why can't he just go around? My husband says my car is a magnet, my Equinox, because every time he looks in the back mirror, somebody's tailgating him. You ever saw these stickers? If you can read this, you're too close. Yeah, that's why it is. They get right on top of you. That's why you get a lot of people who have to stop suddenly. They get somebody running into them. It's because they're too close to you to stop. That's not good, you guys. We had another buggy incident with the Amish community somewhere over toward Shipshewana, I think, somewhere over in Indiana, where most of them have their horse and buggies. Somebody in a truck ran into the back of one. I think my husband said it killed 3 young girls, 3 kids. I don't know if there was more than that, but why couldn't you see a black buggy? It wasn't after dark. What were you doing? What was he doing? Was he on the phone? Was he intoxicated? What? Accidents happen. Don't get me wrong. They do. I'm just saying, when you are riding too close to somebody, or you're driving too fast, faster than the speed limit talks about, you are putting your life in danger. You're putting somebody else's life in danger. And it could be your own kids that could be in the vehicle with you. Don't tailgate. Don't tailgate. Here you go. Another one. Let's get into this one. 21. People who go to an all-you-can-eat buffet load their plates high with food only to eat a part of it and leave the rest. I've seen this myself. We go in, you go to like Golden Corral or somewhere, and it is so tempting to just pile it all on. Because you want to taste this, and you want to taste that, and you want to have that, and you want to have this. And by the time, if you don't watch what you're doing, by the time you get done, you can have a pile like this. Some people do it on purpose because their stomachs aren't as big as their eyes. That's the only reason. Their eyes are bigger than their stomach, they say. I know myself, when I go with Hayden, I will go through and I'll get one spoonful of the different things that I want to eat. And it kind of gets mixed together, but that's okay. I put it close together. And I may have 4 or 5 different things on my plate. But when I see that my plate is getting a little bit full, I stop. Because you know what? I could go back and get seconds. I can go back and get thirds. I could even have 4th, 5th, and 6th. I don't need to put it all on my plate. I don't need to waste. But sometimes people don't have that same way of looking at it. They look at it as, I paid for it. I'm going to get my money's worth. So they'll just pile their plate full, and if they can't eat it, throw it away. At least I got my money's worth. Now, I tell you what's funny. My chair keeps rolling. I tell you what's funny. You go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you have these people, usually it's little old ladies or something like that, older couples, sometimes younger, but most of the time it's older couples. These little ladies will have these big purses, and they'll put stuff on their plate, and usually they're sitting in a booth or something like that, and you'll see them putting stuff in their purse. One time I went to a meeting, I think it was a Mary Kay meeting, because I sold Mary Kay years ago. And I think that's what it was, a Mary Kay meeting. And one of the speakers was talking about how she had, my ear needs to pop. She had went to one of them places, and she had this piece of chicken, and she didn't want to waste it, and she was full. So she put it in her purse. She forgot she put it in there. And her purse was in the closet. And after a while, it got smelling. Every time she'd open her closet door, it would be smelling. She couldn't figure out what it was. And there come a day when she decided she wanted to switch out of the purse she was carrying to this purse that she had been carrying. She hadn't carried it in a while, and she took it out, and she was laughing and talking about how it almost knocked her down, because when she opened it up, there was that rotten chicken in it. So guess what? her purse had to be thrown away, but that's what I think about when I see these little old ladies putting food in their purses. I think about that. It'd be my luck. I'd do that and I'd forget it. And you know the rest of the story. Okay. Okay. How many of us do this one? I can't say this drives me crazy, so I'm as guilty as anybody else in this, even though I try not to. But people who stop in the middle of a grocery store aisle, blocking the way as they chat with friends. Now, this drives my husband crazy. You're in a hurry. You want something, and you got this two women or two guys standing there, they're having a conversation. But what you want is right there, right there. Their carts are blocking it, or you want to go around them, but you only got this much room. You're not going to get through there. So you have to ask them, can you move, please? And sometimes they will, and sometimes they'll just look at you like, and go around. But yes, that can irritate you. My husband, his complaint is every time he wants something and he goes down that aisle to get it, either there's somebody else looking at what he wants, the same thing, or something in that same area, and they're picking up every one, and he stands there patiently, and they're still looking and looking and picking up stuff and picking it up. So he will turn and leave because, you know, they're shopping too, so he's being nice. So he'll go walk around a little bit, and he'll come back, and they're still there. A lot of times he just gives up. Me, I know I do. I always cut right in there, and I say, excuse me, can I get that right there? But, you know, women don't think nothing about doing that. Men, they don't want to, some of them. Some of them are like women, they don't care. But there's some of them like my husband too, who they just don't want to bother anybody. Okay, we got two more, and we'll be at our 12. Okay, 23. People on the phone while driving. Yes, Linda, I agree. It's not smart. It's not smart at all. And a lot of times that is why these accidents happen. We had a lady, I think it was last year, a woman, was going through a red light, and hit a truck. She was on her phone. It killed her. If she hadn't have been on her phone, maybe she would have saw the red light and would have stopped. I don't know how many times my husband has come home and said he almost got hit because somebody blew through a stop sign or a red light while talking on their phone. Didn't even look. Didn't even look. They just run through it. We see it all the time. And in Florida, it's horrible there because the traffic is a lot heavier. And it's scary. It's very scary. It's enough to make you not want to get out on the roads. It's enough to make you just stay home. I think that's why I don't care whether I drive anymore or not, because it's so dangerous out there. If I could stay home all the time, I would. But sometimes you got to get out. You got to live. Okay. Last one for today. Okay. Cashiers who don't count back change. Instead, they just hand it back. So you have to count it to make sure it is correct. Well, while you're counting it to make sure it's correct, you're holding up these people behind you who are already this close to you while you count your money. Because when you leave that line, if your money is short, they could say, well, you put some in your purse or you put some in your pocket. They know they gave you back the right change. But if you stand there and you count it right there, you're on camera. The camera is going to capture you counting that money. So if you're short, you have proof. You're standing in front of them. It only takes a minute. Nowadays, the registers do all the work. So they tell you how much change is there. And unless you don't know how to count, it's not an issue counting change back. I have a habit of not counting my change when they give it to me. And I have caught myself being short a couple of times. Not a lot of money, just a little bit. And my husband, he's gotten on to me enough to where I take the time now, I count my change and make sure I get it back, because a penny's a penny, I'll just put it that way. You want to get your money back because it can go towards something else. But I agree. These things are frustrating. They can drive you crazy. These weren't really as funny as the first group because these are really true. These are really things that are aggravating, but can cause a lot of unhappiness at the same time. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll come back for the next group. I think one more video will do it. So we only will have one more. And in next week's video, I will tell you guys what our next series will be. And if anybody has an idea for one after that, I will put it in my list. A friend sent me a suggestion for the next series, and I think it's a great suggestion. And so that's what I'm going to use. But I'll explain all that in the next video. So, don't forget to say a little prayer for me, and I'll pray for you. Don't forget to pray for those on your list. Don't forget to pray for for each other, and pray for people who have been in all the bad weather lately. I don't know if we got more coming, but it wouldn't surprise me. Just have a good weekend when it comes. Have a good Friday. You should see this later today. I said these would be uploaded on Thursday, so hopefully this will be up today. I'm pretty sure it will be. So if you have any ideas, if you want to add anything that drives you crazy that I haven't talked about, by all means, put it in the comments. I'll put it on the list and we'll read it next week. And until then, I'll see you in a crafting video. Bye, y'all.